Oh, another Wednesday. That means another. Ooh. Oh, that was like a little cherry popper, wasn't it?
Mike. Ooh, yeah. Ooh. Welcome to Comically Conscious. You could be anywhere in the world, baby, but you chose to be right here, right now. You chose to be with us, Daddy. Tell him about it. So, if I have some advice for you, tell him about the advice, Daddy. Buckle the fuck up. Make it happen. Ooh, you finished, Daddy?
Oh my God.
I could fuck with those voices all day.
I swear to God, I could do that shit all day.
God, that's funny.
Oh my God, it makes me want to restart it just to do it again.
I know.
Fuck! Okay, we're not going to do that. So welcome to another episode of Comically Conscious. It's episode 11, bitches. That's a synchronous number for all my believers out there. And we obviously have some explaining to do.
Look, the people miss us for a week.
Whoa, dude, you haven't even... You went through puberty since last week?
Dude, I haven't talked. My balls dropped. I didn't know how to act. Now that my voice is deep, I'm getting hair in places I had no idea, bro.
Wow. It's about time.
It's starting to scare me.
Yeah. It's okay. It's a normal thing we go through. But yeah, we didn't plan on missing a week. That's the first week we missed. We did 10 in a row. We missed 1 week. And
Definitely didn't plan on it.
Honestly, it's just like we got shadow banned.
Facts.
I'll just say it, dude. Facts. We got shadow banned on YouTube, which is our main platform.
Are we gonna get shadow banned for saying we got shadow banned?
I don't know. How does the last week off? All I did was think how I don't give a fuck, and it doesn't really matter because the people that are supposed to find us will find us. Blah 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 blah. But it's kind of annoying to put like a lot of work in. Like I can have this conversation with you in my fucking living room.
Yeah, we do
right.
All the time.
And so like. It's kind of annoying to put that much work into something and then YouTube just decides. They don't tell you why, but they just tell you. For those of you that don't know what a shadow ban is, which I assumed fucking everyone knew, but almost every person that I've said, like that is like written, why was there no podcast, blah, blah. I'm like, we got shadow ban. They're like, what the fuck is that? It's just basically when your content gets restricted from being seen, like it doesn't get put out, but they don't really tell you have a violation. So you don't really know. All you know is like, it's funny. People are like, how do you know you got shadow banned? I was like, well, because every short I'm releasing is getting 5 to 6K in the first 2 hours. And the last 3 I released, one got 0, one got 3, and one got 1 in 3 days.
And they were talking about like they were ridiculous. Fucking...
And I was even playing, like I was making sure I wasn't posting like raunchy or shit, obviously. And so, it's obvious. So we took a break for a week. We haven't put anything up. We're just going to go with this one and we're going to,
just roll with it, bro.
Throw it up, and whether we're banned or not, we're just gonna roll with it.
Just like we said, dude, when we started this thing.
Speaking of fucking rolling with it, the one thing we have to talk about for sure is we saw the fucking Mario movie, Super Mario Brothers. Yahoo! Yaha! Oh, dude, that's straight lava in the ass sound right there. That's professional lava in the ass sound.
Fire.
But we did a little different than most people.
Slightly different.
Slightly different than most people. Some other people might have did this, but we saw it. How did we see it?
We saw it in a little bit different headspace than a lot of people who I know probably saw.
Yeah.
And
I figured, we figured Mario's gonna eat mushrooms. What should we do?
It's a me.
It's a me, Mario.
God, dude. And,
yeah.
Well, dude, just for everyone who's debating, should I not? We're planting our flag firmly in the should.
Yeah, 100%. Go see it. But also realize.
I mean specifically on mushrooms.
Oh, okay.
If you are of age and if you're fucking of age and you have the opportunity and that's kind of like how you roll, then I would highly suggest the should instead of the should not.
Yeah, 100% see it on mushrooms if that's your thing. I can only endorse it on mushrooms because I didn't see it off mushrooms, so I don't really know. I imagine it's about the same. No, I will endorse it. I will endorse it off of mushrooms because just for a movie like for our generation,
dude, just pour the bottle of nostalgic fucking lather bath water all over me, dude.
It's 100%. I think we would get more out of it than our children. I feel like
it was made for a 30-year-old man, like 25 to 35-year-old man who played Mario growing up.
It was made, okay, I don't want to give a false, because some animated movies like that have like a very adult context.
Okay,
like
yeah.
Shrek, like
Sure,
Shrek. Whether
yeah.
you're 8 or you're 28, you're gonna see the movie completely different. There's like adults. There's like an adult plot written
Subplot
into it
throughout,
Yeah.
yeah.
This didn't have that. This was just straight kids movie, right? Like
Yeah,
I
for
didn't
sure.
really
That's fair.
feel
That's
anything
fair.
like bigger than just kids movie. If you were a kid, you wouldn't understand half the fucking like secret little Easter eggs.
Yeah,
and
that's what I
shout
meant.
outs
Yeah,
and
yeah,
little
yeah.
moments.
For sure.
That's made. Oh my God,
Jesus,
dude.
this guy 2 weeks and this motherfucker has hiccups
Jesus
already on the
Christ.
show.
It's not hiccups. I ate Taco Bell and it's all
dude.
coming back
For the
up.
people listening, it's
I
fucking
can't wait.
embarrassing.
It's-
I can hardly look at you while you're talking. The people who listen to this on audio only, which by the way, you should be watching on fucking video. But like,
But if you're not and you're
if you're not
listening on
listening to
audio like an
only,
asshole,
it's rough. Like it's rough,
bro.
dude.
That's what happens when you take a week off. What did you like about it? So let's shit. Fuck.
Well, I'll so
Do we care about spoiling it?
No, fuck no, dude.
Okay, good. Spoiler
It's
alert.
Mario, dude.
The
It's
princess.
Mario.
The princess isn't just like a damsel in distress. That's the one thing that stood out immediately to me.
Sure,
He meets
sure.
the princess. I expect him to just fall in love with her and her to go like, "Oh no, Mario," and like get stolen, and then he's gonna get her.
2023,
She
dog.
basically trains Mario, which
Yeah, like it's like like I get it. Strong woman figure.
bro.
But like
the fucking Mushroom Kingdom is what she runs, which is a bunch of soft ass fucking little people.
Dude, they're
Little
called
toads.
toads. All of them are called toads, dude. They look
Little toadstools.
Like you could kick 18 of them with one.
They're all like, that's adorable. Like, it's like, so I understand it's 2023.
But she's like a killer,
and
bro.
so they
She's
couldn't.
a killer in this
She
movie.
basically temporarily defeated Bowser
Yeah.
herself, just her and him.
Her abilities.
Like, I want to know how you feel about it.
Well, dude, I'll say this. When talking about Peach, dude, the one scene that stood out, bro, when they hop on Rainbow Road and Peach is in that tight little fucking outfit.
You kept saying,
And I leaned over to you. I leaned over to you probably, I don't know, 4 or 5 times. I'm like, dude, I know we're tripping balls, but like, she is so fucking hot. Like, I can't get over her ass in this outfit. Like, she's riding this Harley. What Harley? It's a fucking bike, right? Like, dude, but it's like, I'm like, why are they making this? Then there's a scene where you see it from the back, where I think Bowser is like at the forefront of the screen, but Peach is like, you see her from the back, and they literally like, it's a fucking animation, but they make the bottom outline of her ass like huge. Like, I'm just like, Jesus Christ. Like, dude.
you literally leaned over like probably 2 or 3 times and you're like, is her booty not banging, or like saying shit like that? And like, it's so funny because like being on mushrooms, like obviously like you sync up a lot, but sometimes you're deep into some other weird shit and someone else. And like, I just was never seeing that. Like, that was never a focal point. And every once in a while you'd be like, you'd like look over and then say something like that. And I wouldn't even have time before my brain was like back in to even assess it. So I can't even remember. Like, I don't even know if that's true.
damn,
but I know that you were feeling that way. You made
Yeah.
sure to tell me you were feeling that way.
Yeah. Even the day after when I woke up and I thought back like, was it? I'm like, yeah.
I actually
It
think
was fat.
Taylor said that she filmed a little bit of us
I saw
watching
her
the
at one
movie.
point. Oh my God, it's so funny.
And so right
her.
now, let's cut to some of that. The deal is I've never seen it, so I don't know what it looks like.
This is-
I would imagine
we look fucking ridiculous.
I would imagine
bro.
we're standing out like fucking sore thumbs, fucking like looking at the screen. Let's tell the story. So we decide on the last podcast, if you watch the last episode, that was the suggestion. Hey, Mario on mushrooms. He's like, definitely. So with our week off, it's like, hey, let's go see Mario on mushrooms. So I was like, man, I don't have that many mushrooms left. I got a little bit. And JC comes over. He comes over with a bag of mushrooms. He's like, no, I got some. And I'm like, okay, cool. Well, let me preface this with the mushrooms that I have. Like, I've had for like 4 or 5 years. I capsulate them. Like, it's fucking science at this point, basically.
You got
right?
him down. You know the product.
I know the product. I know the dosage. I know the everything. And so you come over and you're like, yeah, no, I got some too. And I'm looking and I'm like,
Brought the
yeah.
heavy hitters, bro.
And dude, you're like, you pull it out. You're like,
Heavy
yeah,
hitters.
it's supposed to be more than it is. It's only half of what it is. But also, you don't have that much knowledge with like mushrooms,
No, not at all.
type, species, nothing like that. So you pull it out and you're like, yeah, I got these mushrooms here. I'm like, oh, cool. And you were like, yeah, I mean, I paid for twice as much, but when I got there, she just like said they're twice as strong or something. And I'm like, God, I've heard that shit before. You know what I mean? People always saying that. Now here we are. Do I believe it? What do we do? How do we dose this?
You're making me sound a little more uneducated than I actually sounded.
Okay, please.
But
please.
Onward, continue.
No.
Okay.
You want to fucking interrupt, bitch. You want to fucking interrupt, bitch.
I gotta fucking say my piece because look, I've done mushrooms total probably, I don't know, definitely less than 10 times in my life. Probably I would say in the 5 to 7 range, right?
Okay.
Yeah, 5 to 7.
And you said what?
And I said, hey, by the way, these are penis envy mushrooms. Supposedly, I don't know. They're supposed to be a lot stronger than regular mushrooms.
Okay, let me say my piece. I'm done because let me say my piece. That was gonna come. That came right after. It was like,
yeah, but
hey, she said they're twice as strong and blah blah blah. And I'm like, now I'm sitting here. See, you just let me show you how a story goes. Now I'm sitting here. I'm building the story. I'm building this story though. No, and I'm sitting there and I'm going like, okay, fuck, dude. I always hear that they're really strong though. And now I'm in the normal like cliche. How much do I take? We're about to go into public, which is not normally where I would prefer to do mushrooms. So I'm like, last thing I need is like my face melting.
Yeah.
Like while I'm in a kids movie with a bunch of children. Tough to come back from. Tough to come back from. But I'm like, no, I don't. And that's when you go, yeah, she said they're penis envy mushrooms. And they're like, and at that moment, I'm like, oh shit. I'm like, they're penis envy. You're like, yeah, that's what she said. And I'm like, and then for those of you that don't know, penis envy is the top strain of all mushrooms, really. It's the top strain of all like recreational. You're going to find them with your homie mushrooms. You might find some crazy shit, like some Paul Stamets, like mushroom type shit out in the wilderness that like you almost die, whatever the fuck. But they are definitely the most potent strain. I had never tried them. I've only heard 30 fucking stories about them.
Wow.
And every single story is from like some psychonaut person I know that's way into psychedelics, way more than me, that has been like, yeah, dude, penis envy. And they're like, I had to fucking call my mom and like have her
the guys who do this shit all the time are like,
and so now I'm holding these and I'm like, I don't know what to do. And JC's still Mr. Let me clarify that I've done them mostly. I saved his ass, and you
that's
admit
a fact.
That shit.
I will admit that. Don't fucking point at me. Don't fucking point at me.
Put your fucking finger down. Put your fucking finger down when you talk to me.
But what was the question I was going to refute?
You weren't going to refute it. You were going to say, yes, I saved your ass.
Yeah, that's true.
But you just didn't want to, you probably don't want to give me full credit. So you were probably thinking of how to like rebuttal something like, you did, but you're still a bitch.
You said it, not
but
me.
You're a skinny ass bitch. No, and so I'm like looking at these and I'm like, whoa, I've only heard the craziest story. So we decided to do like the 3/4 of our dose, we use mine, and then like we get these, I don't know, little tiny baby little caps.
They wouldn't even weigh on the little tiny scale we had. They wouldn't weigh on the scale.
And we're going, yeah, let's just split that up. And I go, let's just, I just have a feeling. Let's just go with just this little guy. I know it doesn't weigh on the scale, but trust me.
Yeah.
Obviously, you guys can see where we're going here.
It fucking slapped.
It fucking slapped. They had to be, honestly, if I'm using like mine as a reference, they were probably 3 times stronger than what I had. Like, because I know I know the dosage and I know where I was. And so yeah, we went to the Mario movie. We weren't really even like peaking until we got out, basically, right?
Facts. Yeah, I mean, we were still like on the bridge. Like Mario movie, we were still fucking tripping out, but not like, definitely not peak. Like when we got back to your house,
that was probably
when we actually.
So the
peaked.
timing, the dosage was weird. We got there, we saw the movie. Movie was fucking awesome.
Yeah, spectacular.
Peach did her chick thing. We didn't talk too much about it. I don't know. I'm fine with it. It's 2023. Lift up to females, whatever. At least they weren't doing it like a Dylan Mulvaney. Like they weren't doing like
like Mario was Peach. They're like, you're like, wait.
Peach was like, yeah, but I used to be a biological man, and we're like, what the fuck? Like, you're like, that's why she kicked so much ass, dude.
That's why her ass was fat, dude.
No, but I mean, let's give it to him. Whatever. Let Peach not be just. Let's break that mold. Whatever.
For sure.
The one thing I love, fucking Bowser.
Oh,
Bowser's backstory. I love dude. He was like this insecure, like he's this. Okay, so my version of Bowser has always just been he's an asshole.
Sure.
He's just a big like gnarly asshole. I don't really even know what he is. I guess he's a turtle because at one point Taylor's like, hey, what is Bowser supposed to be? And I'm like, he's a fucking turtle. And I look up at the screen and I'm like, he's a turtle that's into BDSM.
He had like the black spike.
No, but there's like
things?
a black spike thing around his thing.
Oh,
there's a black
shit.
spike. I'm like, he's all in leather. And then I'm like, I'm like some kind of snapping turtle, some kind of spiky turtle.
He's a
I don't
Koopa. He's
know.
a fucking Koopa, bro.
But my point was they made him this super sentimental. Like at first he's like, we're gonna fucking kill everyone. Everyone's like, yeah, you kill them
That's
all.
the first scene.
And
He's
then
like
he's
this
just
like
like
Hitler guy.
And then he does like that. And I'm gonna marry the princess. And they're all like, what? And then he has these moments where he's just like, God, I love her so much. And so they humanize him in a way where you feel for him instead of just him being like this antagonistic asshole.
Yeah. And also they kind of like throw that character out. And although it is a little bit like stereotypical, it's very common. Like the giant guy who like is fucking tough and like hates everyone, but inside there's just like, he always asks, he's like, so like, is Peach like super into Mario? Or like, what do you guys think? Right? Like he has like these moments and you're like,
I forgot about that.
or it's just like him like
He
talking
fucking
with,
he kidnapped Luigi, and then he literally was like torturing him, and he's like, what do you know about this Mario gun? He's like, would he be something that princesses were into? Like he was that insecure. That's all that mattered. Like, do you think the princess would be into him? Because if so, like I gotta end this shit.
Oh my God, I love
that.
that.
Was awesome. That was. If I had to pick like a favorite part of the movie, it was that overarching
favorite theme.
And
Is that
Jack
like
Black
motif. Yeah.
was the best casting ever. For like the music that like Bowser was Jack Black.
Did you know that in the movie?
Yeah.
I fucking feel so
fuck,
stupid,
dude,
bro.
It's fucking amateur hour.
What the fuck
I'm
is your
sorry.
phone going on?
You know, I'll have to say episode 11, that is the first
time.
time anyone's phone has disrupted the pod. So actually bring it in, baby.
Are we gonna
It's
explode
been
it?
fucking 2 weeks. You already
I'm
forgot
off,
we
dude. I'm
started a
limp
fucking
dick.
thing.
I'm limp dick, so we'll go.
1, 2, 3.
Think explode it?
and-
You're a jerk off for
Okay,
fucking
no,
doing that.
for reals.
The first time was on me. Second time, that's fucking on you. You know the.
Okay, here we go. 1, 2, 3. Blow it up, bitch. That's crazy.
That one
That's
was
so
weird.
crazy because it's fucking dangerous to do that in the studio.
Inside?
We could burn this bitch down.
Not even our fucking place.
We could burn this bitch down. But you didn't know fucking Jack Black was.
No, not dude. In the movie, I'm like this. It was spectacular, but I couldn't place it. Like, I mean, Jack Black for me is usually the easiest fucking one ever.
And he
I
did
feel
play
like-
his voice just a little bit.
I feel
off,
like
but-
such a little limp dick
Dude,
for not
you're gonna
knowing that.
Peaches, 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 peaches. It's Jack Black.
Yeah,
dude. He
it's-
probably
I can
wrote that
see him.
song.
I
I
can-
wanted to look it up
For
because that was
sure
like
did.
definitely like his style.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, Mario movie on mushrooms. Basically, I don't know what it's like off mushrooms. I will say it seemed like action, 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 which was perfect for our headspace.
Yeah.
I believe it was actually that. There was not a lot of downtime. It was like Donkey Kong, Mario Kart,
Fucking dumb.
Nintendo 64, Odyssey,
Luigi's Mansion. Like,
they're
fuck
just
it.
throwing all this shit at ba 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 ba. It's going from one like crazy happy scene to one crazy dark scene to one it was just all over the board.
It felt like in the actual game where there's like random little cutscenes. It felt like they just stuffed together like 55 of the fucking best, like their version of like a cutscene.
Oh, for sure.
And like as many homages to old Nintendo shit as you can get, just stuffed it into an hour and a half, fucking delivered it to us.
Yeah,
and we
dude,
were
me
like,
and Mav looked up a scene on YouTube the day after. He was looking at we're looking at a scene and he was like pointing out all this stuff in the background that no one would ever see.
Right.
Ever. And he's like, yeah, look, that's from the thing from Odyssey where you get the hats and that's that store and that place, da 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 da.
Wow.
There's like, I mean, the whole world was,
Right.
I mean,
Every
they
detail,
fucking
yeah.
crushed it. Seth Rogen is Donkey Kong. We knew nothing going in. Me or you didn't
Zero.
know anything about the movie.
Apparently still I-
we
I
haven't.
still
Yeah, Seth Rogen is Donkey Kong. Fucking clutch.
I didn't know
Spin-off
that.
movie all day, right?
oh, for sure.
Spin-off movie all
bro.
day.
With Diddy Kong. Diddy Kong was in the movie. You know they got to fucking
Yeah,
get
they're gonna
together.
do. They're just gonna do a fucking Kong world.
Yeah,
That's
for sure.
obvious. They're gonna do. There's spoiler alert. It ends with a fucking Yoshi egg hatching.
Oh, yeah, so Yoshi's happening.
You have to stay for 25 fucking minutes, or if you're on mushrooms, it feels like an hour. And
Yeah,
a
bro.
half.
We walked out. I lost my phone. Came back in. There was
And
this big group of nice, very nice young Asian kids.
They were
both
the
male and
only
female.
ones that knew to
There was-
stay that long.
There was probably 25 of them, and we were in like the luxury theaters, so it's up on kind of like that upper deck.
Yes, we were in the luxury theaters and
Oh,
the
dude.
upper deck people in the luxury theaters.
Yeah, there. Like I said,
It takes forever to get down.
there was
so many stairs. So many stairs.
It costs so much money to get in, but we can afford it.
Yeah, so we end the movie. Movie's good. We love it. I mean, I was definitely at the point of Trippy where everything was moving. Half the movie, I was like trying to figure out if the animation itself was kind of like this. Like I was asking Taylor, but the problem was every time I went to ask Taylor, Taylor was like this. And so
then you
like,
look up and the shit was gone anyway.
And the shit was
like,
gone.
Oh,
And like, and so that was very confusing. But we leave the theater. That part, I didn't love the like lights coming back on part. And then it seemed like there was, I remember maybe
like on the
8
side
people
was, yeah.
walking into the theater. Like we got in there, we were like the only ones in there. I remember maybe 8 walking in, but at the end of the movie when we were fully, you know.
How many, bro? 45, 50?
Fucking 243.
There were
there was 2 rounds.
There was
a whole
many.
round, and then we watched the first little end
Because
scene
everyone knew
after
there's
the
something
credits.
Only a fucking
and then a
idiot.
whole nother round of people, but I didn't love that part. But once we got to the car, I was instantly back in Mario, dude. We were Mario Kart, dude.
Bro.
We were just driving down the strip. You remember? We would like switch spots. I'd get out. We'd do like fucking fire drills, Chinese fire drills on the strip. We're all tripping balls. I would get out. You'd run around the car. You'd get back in.
And dude, the person driving us was, dude, they took us on a fucking...
You missed the fucking layup, dude.
Oh my God. You're joking about us, dude.
So let me explain what just happened. So anyone listening or watching was like going, so fucking irresponsible. Oh my God. They were on the strip. Oh, all bullshit.
I know.
Listen, that's how fucking good at acting I am. You didn't even know I was acting.
I'm so
You
sad
thought
this
we just
happened, bro.
remembered the story wrong.
I'm so sad I blew that
We could have
story.
fucking ran with that one for a
No,
while.
I'm not sad I blew the story because it was so funny and we were going to... I'm so sad because now, it was like I did fuck it up. I'm going to have to hear about that from you. And this acting thing, I just inherently know I'm gonna have to hear about it from you nonstop.
Where's my Oscar, bitch?
Dude, I just
That's
know
what I
I'm gonna
always
have to
say.
hear
Like, what's
about
real
this.
on the podcast? Nobody knows.
No one fucking knows.
You want to know why? Because I
This
don't
guy.
tell. There's no tell here. Look at my face. Am I mad? Look, am I mad?
You look kind of pissed.
Or am I
off.
happy? I'm happy, bro. I'm fucking super happy. What, dog? I'm happier than I could ever be.
Like,
you see that though?
That doesn't
You
that seem like
confused.
doesn't that seem like bad acting?
were
No, because
confused.
like if you're trying to portray happiness,
I was trying
like,
to show you that I could portray the look of anger even though I was super happy. That's great.
That's what acting is. Like,
Anyways, we get in the car. We don't drive. We have a driver. We have someone there with us. We did it very responsible. They did not partake. And she's driving us. And instantly, we back out and we start driving Mario Kart. I'm in Mario Kart. Dude,
That's where I was.
Every intersection was like all the fucking lights, dude. And it was like, bro, motors like,
It went red and then green. Yeah.
I'm like, let's go.
We were on Rainbow Road, dude.
Yeah, it felt like that, like all the way home.
Dude,
all the way home.
She took us through fucking driving around this fucking parking lot in a school. That's not a lie. We went to a fucking school parking lot, did some fucking figure eights and all kinds of weird. Dude,
It was straight. It was great. It was Mario
was
Kart.
great, dude.
I don't have a lot of like psychedelic car experiences because I'm not one that like usually if I'm partaking in psychedelics, I'm not in public. I'm not going out. We're not driving around. I'm just like, so I just driving, like being that like up there and then someone driving was pretty fucking crazy.
So unique, dude. It's fucking, you're like, whoa.
I feel like, yeah, it just made the world feel fake. And then all the lights had like so much halo. So then we get home and we're just laughing and we're joking. Oh, keep in mind, we're fucking cracking up during the, if there's footage of us laughing,
Oh my
put
God,
it here,
throw
but
that
I'm
up
not
there.
sure.
The penis envy. Was it the penis envy that gave us the giggly booze?
Yeah, the penis envy, we just went too hard. We went harder than we thought, but it must be.
But we
because
didn't even go hard. Is the
so
fucking
fun,
point, bro.
So fun. Well, we're also together, dude. We're never not
for
fucking
sure.
laughing when
Yeah,
we're not
so
together.
it's that with that dynamic.
So then we get home. That's when like I realized like she says like, oh, it's fucking been 2 hours and 15 minutes since we left or something. And it was at that point that I was like, oh no. Like we really like fucked up our timing here.
Yeah.
Like we didn't really think this out. And then that's the moment I realized like, oh, we're like 2 hours in. I'm like, we're at the peak right now. This is crazy.
Yeah.
So we sit down, like, what should we do? Should we turn on? Oh, Taylor's trying to ask us questions, but every question
what do you
to
want?
us is like some weird, like existential fucking. I just remember her looking. I remember being like, God, dude, I'm hot in here. And she's like, yeah, is it hot? And then she looked at me and she was like, yeah, are you hot? I was like, what do you mean? She's like, are you too hot? And dude, I instantly am like, too hot? Too hot? Am I too hot? And now I'm like in a fucking thing in my head going, Too hot for what?
And we look at each other.
Am
and
I
we're
gonna
like,
die? Wait, too hot must be the line of right before you die. So I guess I'm not too hot. I'm fucking sweating in my own house. But every question was doing that to my brain. And then you were the genius that was like, I think I need to go outside. At first I'm like, what? You're like, I think I'm gonna go outside in the backyard. So we walked to the backyard. We took time to ourselves for what felt like another 5 hours. You
Dude,
laid in the grass. I sat on the chair. And then we got this crazy gift of like the normal spiritual
conversation
mushroom journey. Even before the conversation. I'm saying
you mean you're talking, okay.
Bro,
yeah,
with the
I'm like,
fountain, we were out back with the fountain, the water.
doing
You're
our
like
own adventure.
you're fucking laying in the grass. I was like sitting on that chair by the water. We're just like sitting there. I know I had it was amazing. Like I had so many like weird intuitions and like downloads is what people call them, but like so many just realizations.
What was one that stuck out for you?
One that stuck out for me from that moment, because we did end up talking, but one that stuck out for me from that moment was, so this is obvious. I think people that even haven't fucked with psychedelics know this, but people that have, this is one of the most cliche things, is like how it breaks you out of like what you think world and life to be. And I mean that like in a way of what's important, like what's actually important in life. It does that thing where it zooms you out and you ultimately realize we're all robots. Like, and that happens to virtually every fucking person the first time they do psychedelics. They end up in a loop of like, oh my God, I'm a robot. I'm just programmed. None of my thoughts are my own. It's what my parents taught me and what society told me was right. And oh my God, I'm questioning this. And you see it and you can see it and you can tangibly feel it so
Very
well.
much.
But then you forget it. A week later, fucking an hour later, 2 days later, a week later, it's one of those things. So it's like that forgetting and remembering thing. But what stuck out to me is I had this moment, and honestly, it was over my son's homework. I started thinking about homework, started thinking about what's important in life. Then I started thinking about the way I raise my kids to know what's important in life. And I always stay on like, I mean, you know, but I stay on like what I would call a pretty balanced line. I try to like let them know that nothing's real, everything's fake. We're only here to just like have fun, let loose, don't care about what people think, life's too short, all this like super high level thinking. But because I'm also like successful in human form, I know that I'm able, or I thought that I'm able to live this other way a little easier because I've showed up in human form with a few let's say really good qualities or attributes that I got to learn from my dad, from society. But these things, work hard. You can, you know, I came up from the thought of like, the harder you work, the more successful you'll be, blah, 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 which was fucking awesome to be that way. Like, I think we talked about at the very beginning of this podcast at some point. Like, because that gave me all the work ethic. And then I just grinded to make what I wanted of myself there, And then once I got a little bit of what I started feeling was, okay, this is good. I could kind of calm down. Then I got to relax to this other side of like, hold on, that's not what it's about. You know, I started getting the money until ultimately go, oh, I don't give a fuck about the money. Never mind, freeze it. Quit growing everything and like, let's freeze it. So I'm sitting here and so I tell my kids both sides. My kid, you know, I try to explain to them like, you need some of these attributes. You need grit. You need these things so your life is easier. So now I'm sitting here with the mushrooms, staring in the trees. The trees are like merging with one another. So it's giving me thoughts of like, man, we're all one, all this thing, what's important. I start thinking about his homework, start thinking about the last conversation we had. And I'm like, come on, man, you know, you got to show up. You got to show up, you got to do this thing. You know, it's all about responsibility. I tell my kids, like, I don't even care about your grades. Like, it's all about the work. It's not about the grades. You don't be missing assignments. Don't be not turning in the thing you need to turn in. That's what we care about, because that's what's going to succeed in life. Not, I promise, like, you being valedictorian does not mean you're going to fucking be anything. I still haven't met one valedictorian that became something. I know a few and they are all struggling harder than everyone else. Right. It's the football player, things that people think are important. I try to give my kids what's important. Now I'm sitting here with the homework and I'm realizing like, I'm still a fucking robot. Like,
like
Mr. Look at all the robots roboting. I'm at my office like, and everyone around me is a robot. I'm trying to check them out of being robotic. You know what I mean? Hey, you're being a robot. You're thinking about this, but it doesn't actually matter. Like,
Yeah.
But ultimately, I'm sitting there. The thing that came to mind was like, why am I not grabbing the kids, going to Australia next month for 2 weeks and jumping off cliffs that terrify us? Like, I don't know why, but that just kept coming back in my head. Like, why am I teaching them the other side?
Yeah.
Like, I'm teaching them the other side because we need to know how to be successful in case of blah, 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 right? Like, so that was my biggest takeaway. When we were alone, I just had this moment of like, as I sat there, like, man, I'm looking at the world all the time. Like I'm a lot less robotic than your average person. And I could say that not being arrogant. Like, I just know anyone that knows me would agree. Like, I live way less robotic. I do things like my way, how I feel about it. Everyone can go this way. And if I'm like that way, it makes more sense. I still go that way. Like, that's my thing.
Yeah.
But I have this realization that I'm literally the guy that's going, look at all these robots walking around. They do not even know they're robots. You know what I mean? That's what it felt like. So to me, that was huge. So now for like the past few days, I'm like trying to analyze, like, because now I'm back in the real world, and now it seems important again. It's real important that we do the things and da-da-da. But it's like, is it? Like, what if I just gave my kids the right values, like completely unmaterialistic, completely everything? Just get your bare fucking needs met. And then life can just be whatever your insides want to make it. I don't know. That was what I got. You got anything from that moment?
Yeah, I mean, I like that a lot. And when you kind of talk about like having your bare needs met, you're like, what kind of human can you then create? Like as a father, if you can get your 12-year-old son to truly understand, right? That like what you're talking about is that like there's a certain minimum of like human survival, and anything else is just you becoming the person you want to be. Like, if you can get them to understand that, I mean, you've won as a parent. Like, you fucking have won, right?
That's the hardest fucking lesson, even for people. Like, it is so hard. Like, anytime I say money doesn't matter, money is not going to make you happy, I trust me, blah, blah, blah. It's always like, easy for you to say, easy for you to say, easy for you to say. Like, that's like a question that's killed me. Like 2 or 3 years ago, I would ask every like successful person I know, and I'm not talking about financial success. Well, I am. I'm talking about the people that are financially successful that ultimately realize money didn't mean anything. It's like, how the fuck can we show someone that before they live their whole life grinding to get the money, and then they're fucking 55 and they get it and they're like, oh yeah, that didn't do anything.
For sure.
It doesn't for me. Like, past like bare needs met, dude. It really doesn't. Hence why I've like slowed down on life. I don't have these big admirations. Like, I need $100 million. I need all this shit. It's like, dude, if I could freeze a semi-ease lifestyle where like I can have some freedom, that's all I care about. Like, I actually care about freedom. Everyone you know that owns businesses and shit, I do it for freedom. And you're like,
meanwhile,
you
like,
work 80 hours a week and
like
you're
35
60.
years,
I'm like, and you're working 80 hours a week. Where's you missed the freedom.
Yeah.
It's gone. Like, it's fucking gone.
No, I'm definitely with that, dude. Kind of what I got. I was sitting, laying on the lawn.
Standing, sitting, laying.
Dude, that's the kind of headspace
That's
how it felt, bro. I was like,
you were laying. You look like at one point you were just melted into the grass.
That's how
you were one with the grass.
Because the stars were just right there, and you could
I
like
didn't even look at this.
there was this one fucking star that like it almost like I stared at it for so long, and obviously, you know, like the visuals when you're on mushrooms, if you stare at something for long enough, like shit will start to happen.
Yeah, almost like kaleidoscopes or something.
Yeah, and so like I knew that, and I like stared at it for as long as I could. It came to a point where it was like there was like a pathway from the star to my eyes, and I was like seeing this giant tunnel with this star. And then I started to get these thoughts of like, wonder what time it is. Just for a second, like, wonder what time it is. Do I need to go? Do I need to go home? Wonder if Jessica's like waiting for me. Like, what? And then I like, then you would kind of wave back into the star. Then I would go back to the thoughts, and like, I just had a moment of clarity where I was like, why is it never good enough to just do what we're doing? Like, why can we never just be and do what we're fucking doing? Like, it's always the next thing. And obviously, again, one of the super cliche things, but I felt it so deeply, like, and I've been thinking about it this morning. I got up and thought about it the day afterwards.
While you're doing and planning all the time.
Exactly. While I'm like at work, like I need to be here at this time because this person will probably get angry if I don't do this thing and don't say this thing. But yeah, like just being, again, in the moment, I hate it because it's the most overused buzzword ever right now is be in the moment. But like, I just like to say being. Because if you're just being, be. It's like, that's the verb, just be. Like, That's what really came up.
Bro, I swear to God, I'm not making this up. On Saturday, before you got to my house, I did a clean out of like my altar space, my little like spiritual meditation area. It hasn't been cleaned out. And I mean, I did a full like take everything off, clean it.
Downstairs or in your room?
Up in my room, the one up in my room.
Yeah.
That's like the really private night. Like that's like a space where like on that whole rug like is calm energy always. Like the kids know they don't even step on that rug when they come in my room. Like that's our little space. It's always been intentional. All the things set there are very intentional. So I did a clear out of that, which is like, it's kind of like spring cleaning or something, but almost like spiritually. I never really realized it until Saturday when I was doing it. And I needed to do it. I was feeling like heavy energy and I just like was walking past and I'm like, dude, I'm gonna clean this thing off. Started cleaning everything. So now I'm getting rid of stuff that meant enough to me at one point that it was on there and it's like not anymore. And there's new stuff replacing it that makes me feel certain ways. The reason I tell you this is from a ceremony that I did probably 2 years ago, I had a little cardboard card where like I had to write my intention of what I wanted throughout this weekend in the ceremony.
Yeah.
And I wrote just be.
No way.
Here's the fucking God damn, dude. Oh, I got chills. I got like chills on my neck. You ever get like chills on your neck?
Always, dude. Especially when
Oh my God. So this is so fucking random and no one would have ever heard this had this not happened. It's so weird. I grab that card. I read it. I go, this is a great message. And then I had this feeling like mission complete. Like since this day, I have gotten a lot better at just be a few years ago.
Yeah.
Then I had this fucking weird instinct to light it on fire.
At that moment? Just
Yes.
at that moment?
Yes. I read it and I went, I don't need this anymore. And I said, well, I'm going to trash it. And then I went, I'm going to like put it back out into the universe. So I fucking walked outside with this card that said
in your
just
backyard?
be in my backyard. Oh my God. Oh my God.
Did you do it where I was laying? You
Oh
fucking did it where I was
my
laying,
God.
didn't you, bro?
I swear to God, I did it within a foot and a half of where your feet were. Right where the rocks start.
Yeah, exactly.
I did it right at that corner in the rocks.
Literally where I was laying.
I lit it. I stood up. I lit it. I set it down.
Now I got the fucking
Bro,
chills,
and
dude.
I'm fucking tripping out. Oh my God.
What the fuck, dude? Are you're like dead serious? Yeah, you don't joke about this shit.
You know what's? I'm so serious that this is like one of the first moments I've been on the podcast where I have absolutely no care of like making sure you entertain. You got to say the thing, keep the vibe going. Like that's how real this moment is right now. Like I'm just like, what the fuck? I lit that thing on fire, JC. I didn't tell anyone. No one fucking knows this. I lit it on fire and then I crouched down, bro, like just like this. So I could crouch down and I just watched it slowly burn from the J, the U, the S, the T, it was just be ... And it just burned and it burned to nothing. And then I went, and the ashes went, and then I fucking walked inside. Oh my God, dude.
Jesus Christ, dude.
Oh, it's heavy. It's so crazy. It's like, it's not even, it's like on my back now, the chills. It's freaky. It freaks me out. There's something here. We have to go down deeper sometime on this because there's that's way too fucked up. That's the one you just said. And
I don't even have
and
words
then you were
for
like,
that, dude.
and you literally just said, I don't. It's not like in the moment, you know. To me, it's just like being. It's just be. I'm like, what? So
dude, that fucking blows my
JC,
fucking mind.
that
right
happened.
Now. How many hours?
3-4 hours before you got to my house. What time did you get to my house?
I don't know. 9-ish.
No, we said the movie is 7:10. Get to my house at like 6.
Oh, when I first got right. Yeah.
Well, I'm saying you got to my house at 6,
Yeah,
so that
for
was
sure.
3:30, 4 o'clock, probably.
Dude,
oh my God. So yeah, just be. So the moral of this podcast, boys and girls.
Wow.
Yeah, that's fucked
some
up.
shit, dude.
That's some shit.
Dude.
This whole podcast was not supposed to be a trip report, and it's just
But
it's just
full
turned into
trip
that.
report.
I have to go.
It was worth it. It was
Fuck,
worth it.
dude. Just be. That's fucking nuts. That's that shit that we were talking about.
That's
like
so
when
poignant, dude.
When we
Like
were in
that.
Mexico and we were fucking out in the water and we got fucking universally facialed by the universe and salt water in the eyes and all that shit. And then we saw the whale and the baby. And it was like, we came back in having that talk of like, man, if you choose to believe in magic or special things, your life just becomes special and magical.
Yeah.
It's like, this is one of those times where it's like, how the fuck do you deny that? That thing sat there for fucking since 2020. So it's almost 3 years. It's sat in the same fucking place. And I picked it up 3 hours or fucking 6 hours before you laid in that spot.
We had no idea.
And I lit it on fire and I don't do that. I don't.
You're not a fucking ceremony ritual guy.
That's what I was going to say. Hold on. I
bro.
do like. Okay, that's confusing because I am like a ceremony type guy, but I've never been a fire ceremony type guy. Probably because like I was in the fire spinning community, so my relation to fire is very different than the spiritual community. They want to like write notes and burn it all the time. I'm never a part of those ceremonies. That's not my style. And I just decided to light this on fire. It made more sense to me to put it back into the ether than throw it in the trash in my bathroom, my little shitty bathroom trash can, because that's where it was gonna go. I walk in and I'm like. And I just look, I'm like, I should light this on fire. And I'm like, but what does that symbolize? Like, what the fuck is the point of that? And then I was like, kind of like putting it back out there, you know?
Yeah.
I didn't specifically say put it back out there so someone else could grab it in 5 to 6 hours.
Specifically.
Put it back out there so my brother-in-law will have a fucking epiphany. But you know what's weird? That star probably saw me light it on fire and burn it.
Yeah,
and
it's
star
been
delivered the message just to you.
I was in the tunnel, bro.
Fucking A. Okay, I have some other like heavy shit we could have talked about, but I
don't know.
I want to leave it at that.
Yeah, that's a
I'm
good one to
choosing
end
to
on,
leave it
bro.
at that. We're gonna end that at that. But what we're gonna do is because we promised episode 10. I don't know if you remembered. We said any comments that were written we would answer. I want to throw that out. I think we should do this. I haven't talked to you about this.
Hit me.
Any
Thoughts?
questions ever answered in our comments anywhere, specifically on YouTube, we'll see them for sure. We will answer the next podcast. And we'll do that forever. We'll just do that forever until it becomes too much. Right now, it's not too much. It's like 3. So it's so funny. So many people comment and no one comments with the prompt. There's fucking 30 something comments and like fucking 2 of them have a thing.
Like, come on, people.
Come on, bitch.
Come on.
All right,
man.
let's see. What do we got here, baby boy?
Give us some questions.
Come on, daddy. If I knew how to use my phone.
That'd be better.
All right, here we go. This one's from at and it says,
Nice username.
would you rather have to run through a super crowded beach butt naked or have to hold a handful of vomit from 3 random people for 4 minutes straight?
Okay. So you rerun on the beach naked, or you gotta hold the vomit. Is it just in my hand, or there's like an object I'm holding it with? It doesn't specify.
It says a handful of vomit, so we're gonna put it in your hands. Can we do it like this? We're gonna put 2 hands, just handfuls.
Okay. And then how long is the beach for cardio
You're just
reasons?
running through. You're running 6 miles through the beach naked.
I don't have a problem with people seeing my cock bounce around a little bit.
Running through a super crowded beach.
Look, I'll say this. Okay, I'll fucking say this about me, my dick, and my balls, and my asshole.
Wow, that's one hell of a team.
That's a fucking squad, dude. So I just think that the squad, like, I don't really care if people see my dick, balls, or asshole, or me. But
I see you.
If we're talking 2.5 miles of me jogging, and like when you're a guy jogging naked, your shit's just
where are you getting
bouncing
2.5
and
miles? A super
Where
crowded
is this
beach.
Yeah, it's a crowded beach. How big is the beach?
It's not about the fucking endurance part of it.
I would bounce my dick around kids, old ladies, men, women.
Can't wait to clip that.
I don't care, dude. I'm running.
I will bounce my dick around kids. I will bounce my dick around kids. I will bounce my dick around kids.
And old.
It's just cut. It's just cut right there.
But yeah, that'd be my answer. What about you?
Yeah, too easy. It's too easy of a question. I hate to say it, but it's too easy of a question.
Yeah.
For 2 reasons. One, I think running down a crowded beach butt naked sounds freeing and fucking
It's
fun.
fucking hilarious, dude.
And hilarious. Because of how fucking long my balls are these days as an old man, it'd be fucking hilarious. Half the boys would be like, "Is that like real?
Is
like,
that shit gonna? Is my shit gonna? Like,
is that gonna fucking?" Yeah, but they'd be singing that thing. They'd be wanting the same thing. Is my shit gonna dance? You know what I
You'd
mean?
be like,
It's a package.
you'd be like, come here, let me touch it.
It's a package deal. But for that and for the other reason, I fucking hate vomit. Like vomit and boogers for me, I don't like those things. So the idea of like vomit in my hands is really bad.
It's not
like,
strictly a bodily fluids.
Even
thing,
if it was just one person's vomit, I'd rather run down the beach butt naked on a crowded beach than hold my girlfriend's vomit in my hand.
But
That's how much I just don't like vomit.
Okay, no, I got that. But is it like strictly? It's. I don't think it's strictly a bodily fluids thing, right? Like
No, I'm not. I hold.
like
I would
you
hold.
prefer bodily.
I
fluids.
would. Okay. If it was, would you rather run naked through a crowded beach or hold your girlfriend's piss in a handful of your girlfriend's piss?
You're going
I would
piss.
choose a handful of piss before run naked.
Right.
So it's not all bodily fluid. Or maybe I'm into piss. I don't know. I'm now
That's what I'm
thinking.
saying. We're talking golden showers, or are we just talking a little bit of like a morning?
It's like a golden hand wash. It's a golden. What is it?
Put some soap on
it. Golden sanitizer.
Golden sandy.
Okay, so that question's gone.
Golden sandy for the trannies.
Next question. Are you ready?
Stop. I want to say this. I just thought of a fucking amazing product. The Golden Sandy by Tranny. And so it's literally, you get like people who are into transgenders or transvestite or any kind of trans person.
That's what. Wait. The people.
It's for them. It's for them.
Okay.
That they're like the demo. There's a lot more of them than you might think. You get a trans person to just put a little twinkle of piss inside each bottle. Golden Sandy by Tranny, because everyone knows piss is sterile. Piss is sterile, so it would fucking work, wouldn't it? You just make you're making a sanitizer. It's golden in color, by the way. What I'm picturing, it's a very like sleek bottle, golden in color, called Golden Sandy by Tranny. And I think that shit would sell like a motherfucker, dude. Anybody in the comments who like has like a manufacturing, some kind of warehouse, to hit me up. I'll fucking partner with you for
that
sure.
knows a transsexual, because you can't lead that unless you're gonna go full woman.
Whatever I need to do.
If you're gonna go a fucking Mrs. Mulvaney on us, then
Mr.
Mulvaney. Okay, next question. We're gonna blow through
what's the
these.
next
We got
one?
2 more. Would you rather suck 10 dicks once or 1 dick 10 times?
10 dicks once or 1 dick 10 times.
Should I go first?
Yeah, go first.
Okay, 1 dick 10 times.
Why?
Because I feel like I could really okay, listen,
You're so
it's not
gay.
that I want to suck a dick. It's not that I want to suck a dick. It's that whatever I do 100%. I go for it. I'm in. So my logic is, if you give me 1 dick 10 times, dude, by the 10th BJ,
Yeah.
I'm going to be so proficient at what this guy wants.
Oh, you're not even going to need to do it for that long.
It's not about that, though. I just want to be clear. I want to
about
be
the
clear.
time?
It's not about getting done faster. It's about doing the job right. It's always quality over quantity.
Oh my God. Well, so I honestly, I don't think you're that bad. I think by 7 or 8, you'd be a quality. Like
I'd probably like it by then.
Oh, you'd have to you'd end up doing a lot more than 10 times. You'd end up getting to 20.
So would I rather suck 10 dicks once or 1 dick 110 times?
Give me the
What's
one
your
dick.
answer? Quick.
10 dicks once. Get it over with in one shot, and then you don't have to think about it ever again. You have to go back over and
But
over.
you have to think 10. I wanted to rush through this, but 10 different dicks.
Yeah, one time.
I just want you to think
You're going to
like
have some big, small, thick, wide.
circumcised, uncircumcised.
I guarantee one guy's probably going to have a micro.
If you had to pick to
So you have
suck
to,
a
like-
circumcised dick or an uncircumcised dick, which one would you suck?
I guess? A circumcised dick just seems, it seems too much like my own, maybe. You know what I mean? So,
That's so funny.
I guess.
I just thought it'd be the opposite. I thought you were going to say circumcised. Then I was going to say, is it because it's familiar? But you want to go like
I want to go like,
unfamiliar,
I-
uncharted territory.
Uncharted territory. Like if I'm going to branch out, I want to branch heavy.
Okay.
And I've heard these uncircumcised guys can fucking sling it.
Yeah. It says they have more sensitivity too.
Oh, yeah. That just means they come faster, though, so that's shitty.
Okay. This one is, would you rather be blind or deaf? Or no. Well, that was the initial question, but no. Would you rather be blind or deaf with no hands? And I want to take this moment.
Okay.
I'm gonna redo this question.
Okay.
Would you rather be blind or deaf with no arms?
Ooh.
Deaf with no hands. I honestly think people still just go deaf with no hands. Blind is like so hard. Like I get you can't pick shit up, but you could find a way to do it, dude.
And like,
I know a fucking dude that has like one arm and one finger
So that's what you
that
said-
I've hung out with, and he can fucking do shit. And so like, but blind is like,
you can't see, right?
you can't fucking see,
You can't see.
but no arms at all.
So, Mike,
Okay.
I'm asking, what's your answer? Because you're fucking beating around the bush telling us fucking
I
stories.
was gonna let you give an answer, but
Well, you just started. You fucking interrupted me. So now finish what you're doing.
no, I did. I was clarifying why I changed the.
Finish what the fuck you're doing before I lose it.
Oh yeah, oh yeah, bitch. And then what? And then what?
I like to take this opportunity to thank Liquid Death. If it's going to be a death,
Make it a liquid one.
Ooh.
Yeah, make it a liquid one.
Sounded like a 90s intro to like a cartoon.
I think that we should get paid more, but it's okay. We'll discuss that later. So I'm gonna go with, oh my fucking god, dude! I made that question so hard. So I'm gonna go back to the original question, and I'm gonna answer deaf with no hands. No, I stumped myself once I said no arms. Deaf with no hands all day over blind. But if I'm blind and I have no.
It's too easy.
Fucking god. Do you know? I'm gonna think. I'm not trying to bail out. I'm gonna think.
Blind or deaf with no arms? I'm going blind.
Wow.
It's easy for me to say because I'm not, but I just, you know what I mean? But that being said, I mean, blind, you can still like, I just think of what you do with your arms, like the activities and experiences that you have with your arms.
Right.
And I think that would override the toughness of being blind. Like in today's world, there's a lot of ways that blind people, thankfully, can experience things in a way that maybe they couldn't before. So I would take that with my no arms over deaf. And you can't fucking hear any music ever. There's no music does not exist. People just take that for granted. Like music does not fucking exist.
No, I thought about music, but I don't give a fuck about music if I can't see anything. You go blind, man.
I'll go blind, boy.
It's just so, you know what I'm having trouble with? It's just hard for me to pick blind.
Yeah.
Like, cause blind that fucking freaks me out.
Just,
have you ever like tried to be blind? Like, have you ever like been like, let me see what it's like to live an hour blind? Like, it is fucked.
I've done like exercises before.
That's even if you're in your own house and you know where shit is. It still sucks.
No, it's fucking impossible. Like, it's impossible. They have.
But so is no arms. You can't hear shit.
You can't hear shit, and you can't pick shit fucking pick shit up, dude.
Can't hear shit, and you can't pick shit up.
Like, what do you even do as a deaf person with no arms?
Yeah, good point. God damn. Well, those are great questions. Please feel free to send your questions. And if you haven't subscribed yet, take this time to like and subscribe these videos. We make them for you. And because of our shadow ban, we don't know how much longer we'll be around without you. So thank you. And dude, do you want to like wrap this bitch up or what? Let's just wrap it up.
Put a bow on it.
That's pretty crazy. It just ended up being like a trip report podcast.
I like it.
What's the title? Mario on mushrooms.
Yes.
And then some. Mario on mushrooms and then some.
Then some for our dirty little buddies out there.
Episode 11. Thanks for coming. That trip report hit deep down. Oh, yeah. Don't forget to subscribe and like and leave a comment asking us anything at all because we're here for you. We'll answer anything you want, Daddy Do. Thanks for being here. We love you. Goodbye.